But it is a weird atmosphere. Normally, if you go to a baseball game, there's a sort of electricity around the ballpark, a lot of noise, a lot of people. But to be completely honest, it's pretty empty here at Busch Stadium. I mean, look at the street right here. There's no one here. Sports can be a release during the pandemic. 3 simple words that mean so much these days. Baseball is back. A Super Bowl title 50 years in the making. Kansas City taking down the 49ers, and they were celebrating. What a parade it was. The coronavirus has shut down sporting events across the country and the world. It's okay to be mad. I'm upset because I love sports, but it's also important to understand that precautions are necessary to ensure the public's health. This weekend's most exciting sporting events, the Chicago Bulls' Last Dance documentary and the virtual NFL draft, which saw a pair of Tigers reunited in Denver. 2020's here. What's your New Year's resolution? For the Chiefs, it's probably to win the Super Bowl. We saw Andy Reid coming by. Patrick Mahomes was having a pretty good time, to say the least, Mark. I mean, this is awesome. Chiefs Kingdom loves it. They've been waiting 50 years for this, and it was worth every single moment. The team with the most drama so far, go figure, the Cardinals, who haven't played since July 29th. In all, 9 players and 7 Cardinal staff members have tested positive for coronavirus. There's snow. Students are on winter break, and the Chiefs hosting former Tiger Drew Lock and the Broncos. So it's no surprise that Mizzou Arena's fairly empty, but some Tiger fans from all over the state did show up. The Missouri football team pretty much has 2 personalities. There's home Mizzou and road Mizzou. The Tigers are 5-0 at home and 0-3 on the road. Take a look, no fans behind me. Teams are limited to just 150 fans. Now, the game before just wrapped up, so there was actually fans. That section that you're looking at right there is just about the only part of this arena that does have fans this weekend. A lot of question marks as to how the season may look with COVID-19. But so far, the $500 million man, Patrick Mahomes, does feel safe. Rod, you would think there'd be a lot of nervous fans after that Game 3 7-2 loss for the Blues, but the fans here at the Enterprise Center have forgotten about it. They've moved on, and they're confident the Blues are going to win Game 4. Inspirational. That's World War II veteran Kurt Davison, who competed in 11 events at the Missouri State Senior Games. By the way, he's 94 years old.
My secret is don't stop. Keep going. Once you stop, you finish.
Davison has multiple national records in different age groups and several world records too, but that's not why he keeps going.
It's really good for your health because I'm 94 and I don't take any medications. I have good blood pressure, and I think exercising really helps.
Davison is showing no signs of slowing down.
My goal is to run 100 meters when I'm 100.
But he's certain to have some competition. 63-year-old Dave Couch has 19 national titles. He's a star race walker, and despite multiple surgeries, still going strong. Couch has a message for his 94-year-old friend.
I told him, I said, Kurt, I said, I want you to break them records and set them real good. He goes, why is that? I said, because I'm going to break them someday. His 90-something. He says, you know what? I think I'll stay around and watch you.
Speaking of impressive, how about Columbia's own Barney Sword? The 88-year-old long-distance runner keeps defying time.
Nice.
Most of them think it's amazing, except, of course, most of them don't know I'm 88. They ask me, I don't mind telling them, but that's it.
They can't tell he's 88 because he's fast. Sword can run the 5K in under 40 minutes.
I have excellent health, and I attribute to the great percentage of it to the running I do regularly.
Davison, Couch, and Sword are all from the Show Me State, but 68-year-old Michael Devaney came from Arizona to compete.
4 years ago when I started race walking, I needed something as a challenge. I knew I wouldn't be competitive because I just started out and it's a tough sport to learn, so I decided my goal would be to just do all 50 states.
And Devaney has done just that, competing in the senior games in all 50 states, winning more than 300 medals. He started race walking after an illness and lost 104 pounds. His journey through the sport has changed his life.
I've seen every state capital. I went to Hawaii. I walked from my hotel to the university track. I've just seen so many things, met so many interesting people and seen things in states I never would have seen.
Sports, offering new experiences and bringing people together, no matter the age. In Columbia, Kamen Entchev, KRCG 13 Sports. The coronavirus has shut down sporting events across the country and the world. It's okay to be mad. I'm upset because I love sports, but it's also important to understand that precautions are necessary to ensure the public's health. While most sports across the country were shut down at all levels, the Missouri State basketball tournament has gone on with fan restrictions. The latest update, classes 4 and 5 will finish up at Springfield next Friday and Saturday with only 100 fans at the most per team. Only 150 fans max per team allowed at State this past weekend as the Tipton girls play in their first state title game. Abby Backus with a tough finish, over 2,000 career points. She's headed to Columbia College. Then Myra Class on the break, scoring 21 of her 23 points in the first half. But East Buchanan dominates in the second half, had a big 16-2 run, and goes on to win the state title 62-51.
You know, this is what we wanted to be. We wanted to be down here. And, you know, we'd love to be first, but we wouldn't trade it in. You know, I mean, it's great. It's a great opportunity to be down here. These girls earned it.
Congrats to Tipton, a second-place finish in Class 2, the best ever in school history as the Lady Cardinals end the year 26-6. In the Class 1 state championship, the St. Elizabeth boys going up against Dora. Early on, Brady Heckemeyer, the 6'5 senior, look at this spin move right here. Nicely done, off the glass for 2. He led St. with 11. Then Brock Lucas, the no-look pass to Ross Trump, who has over 2,000 career points now. St. down 5 after 3 quarters as let's go Ross. But the Falcons would finish strong. Dora wins the Class 1 title 59-49.
The growth from when I first met them as sophomores to who they are now has been such a fun journey. It's unfortunate that that part of it's over, but couldn't be more appreciative of all the work they've put in.
After a third-place finish last year, St. does one better as the runner-up in Class 1. The Hornets finished the season 25-6. Big showdown in the Class 3 boys semis. Number 1 against number 2, Blair Oaks and Cardinal Ritter. But a small crowd because of the coronavirus restrictions. Cardinal Ritter opens the game on a 15-0 run, but Blair Oaks would heat up. Eric Northweather headed to Truman State next year, and that's why, folks, he's pretty good. The Falcons respond with an 11-0 run, but Cardinal Ritter pulls away. Check out the big jam right there. The Falcons fall 68-54.
So they're going to always hold a special place in my heart as a coach, just because, you know, they were able to get us. This is my first Final Four, so it was a new experience for me as well. So we kind of experienced it together.
The Falcons finished 28-3, no third-place game, so they're one of 2 teams to finish third. By the way, Cardinal Ritter won the state title game by 56 points. Crazy. So Blair Oaks was basically the second-best team in Class 3. It's been a crazy weekend. This sports guy right here had to cover news and Governor Parsons' media conference in Springfield, so I was unable to get highlights from the Community R6 girls. But congrats to the Lady Trojans on a third-place finish at State in Class 1. The bigger classes at the quarterfinal stage at State, Class 4, Calais taking on Webb City. So few fans as we've seen all weekend long. Desmond White knocking down the short jumper. A big second half for Calais. Here's White with a great look to Caleb Justice off the glass for 2. Then Marcus Anthony, he's had an incredible season. Hits from the baseline. Calais wins 63-54. The Crusaders will play Vashon Friday night at 6 in the Final Four. Class 5 girls quarters, Jill Nagel and Rockbridge taking on Republic. Aaron Pewitt led RB with 19 points, which included this clutch 3, tying the game late in regulation. In OT, it was the Avery Kroenke 3-point show. She hit 2 big ones for 16 points. The Lady Bruins win 59-55. They're headed to their 7th Final Four in 13 years. What a program, as they'll take on Hazelwood Central Friday afternoon at 2. Class 5 quarterfinal in Bolivar. Rockbridge riding a 21 game winning streak, taking on Kickapoo. Fast start for the defending state champs. Brant Bowers knocks down the long jumper. Bruins open the game on a 7-0 run. Xavier Sykes on the run, finishes with the layup. He's really something. But all Kickapoo from there. The Chiefs are up for 30 points in the third quarter to win by 15. Rockbridge finishes a great season, 24-4. Some state basketball tournaments had already wrapped up before this week, but 30 states either canceled or postponed their state tournaments this weekend. Missouri, one of 5 states that continued to play basketball. As I mentioned earlier, the games went on with fan restrictions, so a lot of empty seats. Only 150 fans per school allowed in Springfield at the state semis and title games. Meanwhile, over at Bolivar in the state quarters, only 60 people total per school, counting the team, were allowed to watch. I spoke with Jason West from Misha, and he said this is why they chose to play.
We wanted to make this as good of an experience for everyone as possible, but one of our underlying messages is we also wanted to make it as safe for everyone as possible.
A lot of tough decisions, certainly a really complicated issue. Obviously, safety matters most, but so do the kids who want to finish their high school careers. But as of now, both state basketball and spring sports are still on in Missouri. The other 4 states that played basketball this weekend all wrapped up. So as of now, Missouri will be the only state to play basketball next weekend. I spoke to local coaches at state about the coronavirus and how it affected their teams.
We didn't want something out of our control to take away from what's supposed to be one of the greatest experiences of their high school careers.
I'm just very appreciative to Misha and making this happen for the kids. We had to take some, precautions, which as we should.
It's our team, people that are here, our family. Most of the people that are there night in, night out for us were able to be here.
Wheelchair basketball, a sport that features some impressive players, including Amit Vigoda, who came to Columbia all the way from Israel for another chance to play the sport he loves.
I was an insecure kid before I started playing. I didn't have much friends. And I think in wheelchair basketball, that's the first time I really succeeded in something in my life. And I saw that if I can succeed in wheelchair basketball, I can succeed in other things in my life, like school and my social life. So it gave me a lot.
Vigoda had one of his legs amputated, but that hasn't stopped him from living a full life. He's on the Israel junior national team, traveling all over the world. The 17-year-old plans to play in college in America.
So my mom, we were laughing about it like a week ago, that out of all of her kids, she didn't think that her disabled kid is going to be the Division I player.
Vigoda is considering Mizzou one of 10 universities that offers the D1 sport, and there are even scholarship opportunities. 18-year-old Kerwin Hackey also might play at Mizzou. He not only has cerebral palsy, but is also deaf. His dad uses sign language so Hackey can understand what the coaches are saying.
So when we're deaf, I communicate with my hands, I point at my teammates, I can use my voice to make noise a little bit, kind of push and pull people and tap them on the back to communicate together.
Riley Bleed just started playing 2 years ago. He's already a star and will play at Mizzou next year for Ron Likens, who is both the Mizzou and USA Wheelchair head basketball coach. Both say it's a tough sport.
It's not really a disabled sport. It's like an aggressive, it's a real D1 sport. So people need to come out to the games. They need to see what it's like. Once they see what it's like, they're gonna be like, wow, like these guys are not really disabled. They're just in a chair.
People have a stereotype of what they think wheelchair basketball is. They'll think of a hospital wheelchair, somebody sitting in that, one of those big 60-pound clunkers. They don't realize that these chairs are actually made for sport and how sleek they are, and they're designed for guys to turn quick and start and stop very quickly in that.
Wheelchair basketball has given these kids a family.
To have guys like this that joke around with you can joke around about your disability with them. Like, it's great. Like, I love these guys so much, and it's great to have guys that actually understand like what you're going through.
Wheelchair basketball, changing lives and adding smiles. In Columbia, Kamen Entchev, KRCG 13 Sports.